I'm 80 years old, and there's something heavy I've been carrying for a long time, something I can't take with me much longer. I don't say this for sympathy. I say it because I know how easy it is to believe you have time. I believe that too. These days, my mornings are quiet, too quiet. I wake up before the sun, not because I need to, but because sleep doesn't hold me like it used to. I sit on the edge of the bed and listen to the house breathe. Every sound feels louder when you're alone with your thoughts. At my age, you don't think about the future much. You think about what's already behind you, and sometimes that's the hardest part. I look at my hands now and barely recognize them. They're slower, stiffer, but they still remember what they held on to for decades. Work papers, steering wheels, tools, clocks. Always clocks. I spent most of my life watching the time instead of living inside it. When I was young, I didn't feel reckless or careless. I felt responsible. That's what I told myself. I worked hard. I showed up. I did what was expected. I thought that was love. I thought that was enough. In my 20s and 30s, life moved fast. I had a job that needed me, or at least I thought it did. Every day felt urgent. There were deadlines, bills, people to impress. I'd leave the house early, come back tired, tell myself I'd make it up to everyone later. Weekends were for catching up, not slowing down. I was always tired, but I wore that tiredness like proof that I was doing something right. People around me would say things like, "Don't work so much," or "You're never really here." I'd laugh it off. I'd say, "This is just for now." Just for now turned into years. I missed small things first. A dinner here, a conversation there. I'd say I was busy, and I truly believed that meant something noble. I didn't realize that being busy can be its own kind of hiding. It keeps you from sitting still long enough to notice what you're losing. I remember moments that seemed unimportant at the time. Someone waiting for me to finish a sentence, and I never did. Someone wanting to talk, and I told them later. There were birthdays where I showed up late, and anniversaries where I showed up distracted. I was present in body, but my mind was always somewhere else, counting, planning, worrying. Nothing broke all at once. That's the part people don't warn you about. Life doesn't usually collapse in a single moment. It thins out, quietly, like a photograph that fades without you noticing until it's almost gone. Years passed. People adapted to my absence. They stopped asking me to come along, not out of anger, but out of habit. I didn't see that as a warning. I saw it as convenience. Then one day, something happened that couldn't be postponed. Someone I loved got sick. Suddenly, there were no schedules to protect me, no work excuses that mattered. I sat in a room that smelled like disinfectant and regret, realizing I didn't know how to have the conversations that mattered. I had spent a lifetime preparing for meetings and none preparing for goodbye. When that person was gone, the house felt different. Not empty, in a dramatic way, just quieter. I told myself I'd do better now. I told myself I'd slow down. But habits don't disappear just because the reason for them does. I kept moving, even when there was nowhere meaningful left to go. Now, at 80, I understand something I couldn't before. The mistake wasn't working hard. The mistake was believing that life was something I could schedule for later, that relationships would wait, that people would always be there when I finally had the time. They weren't. Some doors don't close loudly. They just stay shut. There are things I can't fix now, conversations that will never happen, apologies that have no place to land. I can remember faces clearly, but I can't reach them. Time doesn't soften that. It sharpens it. I don't wake up angry. I wake up aware. There's a difference. I accept what is, but acceptance doesn't erase the ache. It just teaches you how to live alongside it. If you're listening to this and you're younger than me, I won't tell you what to do. I don't believe in that anymore. I'll just tell you what I wish I had known. There is no perfect moment waiting in the future where everything finally slows down and gives you permission to care. Life doesn't work like that. The days you're living now are not rehearsal, they're the whole thing. People don't need your best version someday. They need your real presence now, even if it's messy, even if you're tired, even if you don't know what to say. I thought I was building something solid, and in some ways I did. But I didn't realize how quietly I was letting the most important parts slip through my hands. At my age, there's still gratitude. I'm thankful for what I had, even if I didn't hold it well enough. But gratitude and sorrow can live in the same place. They often do. I don't have many years left. That's not dramatic. It's just honest. I spend them slower now. I listen more than I speak. I notice things I once rushed past. Sometimes I wish I could send this awareness back to my younger self. But that's not how time works. So instead, I leave it here, with you. If any part of this felt familiar, maybe sit with it for a moment, not to change your life overnight, just to notice where you are and who is still there with you. I'm 80 years old, and if I could give you one thing, it wouldn't be advice. It would be the understanding that later is not promised and presence is never wasted. That's all I have left to offer.